Hi my loves, what is up? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Crissanna, and if you're new here, then welcome, and if you're an oldie, welcome back. So guys, I was already 6 minutes into the video and then I realized my lens was completely blurry, and thankfully I caught it before I got too far. So in today's video, we have a really good one. We're gonna be testing out the Morphe x Nyane Fierce Fairytale Artistry palette. So here is what it looks like. I absolutely love everything about this packaging, you guys. It's so bright and colorful and fun. So you would open it up kind of like a book, but here are all the shades, you guys. How gorgeous. I literally could not pass up this palette just for the simple fact that I have way too many neutrals in my collection, so I had to get my hands on this one. So they also came up with 3 other things in the collection. They came out with 2 lip trios. So I got the Nearly Nude Lip Trio. So there are what the shades look like. This retails for $20. Digital palette retails for $30. They also came out with another lip trio. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put a picture right here. But that had like a pink, a bright yellow, and then like another shade, something that I would probably not wear like ever. So I decided just to get the nude one because I love a nude lipstick. They also came out with some color pencils, which I just didn't feel like I needed or wanted to get. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. What I was doing is I actually took the Ace Beauty Amplifying Eyeshadow Base, and then I took this shade right here, and this is called Silent. And I just used Silence to pretty much set down the crease area. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with the blue shades. So again, 2 looks in one. We're starting out with the blue. So I'm first going to take this shade, and this is called Young Metzy. So it is a light matte blue shade. The way this palette is set up is like so strange. I expected it to open up like a book and the shades be written up and down, but they're not. It's kind of like backwards. It's a little strange, but we're going to make do. Just taking a big fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M441 brush. So with first dip in the palette, I don't see a whole lot of pigment. If I ever have any trouble with Morphe's shadows, it's these type of palettes that are collabs. I feel like they're just not as good as the original palettes by them. Okay, so I dipped my brush a little bit harder and I seem to pick up a little more product this time. So you guys, I know I'm not going to pronounce these names right because I'm just not sure like how to even pronounce them, but I'm going to take Bars Lee DUC. So it's this blue matte shade right here. Again, I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm going to take that on a more fluffy brush. This is just a Morphe brush. So I'm just going to take this shade just a little bit lower into the crease. I'm going to start by just lightly building the color up. I don't want too much pigment right off the bat. So I'm going to take the deepest blue matte shade, and I think this is called Impona. And I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce really any of these names. I'm still going to take the same brush. I figured when using a fluffier brush like this, it's a lot easier to blend the shades together. At least that's how it's been for me over the past couple of months. I mean, of course, if you want to be like extremely precise and you don't want the shade getting everywhere, you could use a smaller brush, but I personally just want everything to blend nicely. But right off the bat, that deep matte blue shade was extremely pigmented. I only had to dip my brush 1 time. So I do want to build this deep blue shade up just a little bit more, just so we have some contrast. I'm going to blend this right in through the crease. So I'm just going to go back in with the 2 previous blue shades to blend everything out. Okay, so I think the blend and everything is looking okay for now. I'm not like obsessed with it or anything, but I do want to go in for a couple shimmer shades now. I'm like really stuck on what shimmer shade I want to use. I really don't want to go in with a silver because I did that with the Minnie Mouse palette and I don't want the looks to be the exact same. The thing with Morphe palettes is they released not a whole lot, but their palettes are so big that a lot of the times I feel like I create the exact same looks when using their palettes. So I am going to take the silver shade just because I'm not sure what else to use. So this one is called Bange. So it doesn't look like a whole lot of shimmer is picking up on my brush, but it does seem to be applying pretty well. I'm just going to drag the silver all the way to the outer V. So I guess we're pretty much done with this side. There's really not much else that I can do with it. But we're going to go ahead and move on for look number 2. I'm going to go ahead and prime the eye off camera and then I'll be right back. So for this side, I am kind of thinking more of like a pinkish purple look. But then the greens are really, really pretty as well. So I think I'm going to be a little more adventurous on this side and maybe do something that I typically don't do. So I'm going to take this Morphe M456 brush. So it is a smaller blending brush. And I'm first going to take this deep purple shade right here. And this is called Pose. So I'm going to take Pose and I'm going to put this on the outer portion of the crease. And I'm going to wing it right down here. Or I lied, I actually don't want to bring it down here. I want to leave this space down here on the lid empty. So right now I'm just focusing on building this color up right here on the outer portion of the crease. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. So to go ahead and blend this out, I'm going to take this shade right here, and this is called Nyane Cat. And I'm actually going to use this to blend out the purple shade right up here along the edge. Take this shade right here called Gorgeous Gangster. And I'm going to merge this right into the purple shade, right into the crease. This is a really, really pretty pigmented pink shade. And then to blend that out, I'm going to take this shade right here, Temper, and this shade in Firece. And I'm just going to take a mix of both, just because one is a little bit too dark and then one is a little bit too light. And we're going to use this to blend out the pink shade. Go back in with Gorgeous Gangster and apply some of that right here to the crease. And then I'm slowly going to blend it up. So I'm just going to go back in with Firece. So it is the really, really pale pink. And I'm just going to use this to blend everything out up here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the whole crease out until this point. Again, stuff that I usually don't do, but I really want to try to step out of my comfort zone and start playing with colors and doing things a little bit differently. So I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to cut the crease, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to play with some shimmers. So I went ahead and cut the crease. It's not anything too particular or anything like that. I literally just cut it all the way to the end. I didn't like wing it out or anything like that. So let's go ahead in for some shimmer shades now. So I'm first going to take this swirly shade right here, and this is called Violet Flame. So we're kind of going to repeat the same process that we did with the matte shades. We're going to apply this to about 1/2 of the lid. Okay, so it's definitely picking up more purplish on the brush. So I'm actually going to stop there, and I'm going to go over top of it with a pink shade. And I'm going to take this shade right here called Parjata. I'm going to go right over top of the other shade we were applying. And then for the outer portion, I'm going to take Unapologetic. So it's a shade right here. Now that is something I can definitely pronounce. And I'm going to start applying this right here on the outer portion. The shimmer shades definitely aren't as dark on the eye as they look in the pan. Because in the pan, they kind of look a little intimidating. For the middle, I'm just going to keep going with the Parjata shade. The first shade we use right here in the inner part. I'm just going to kind of connect them two together. Hey guys, so not looking horrible. I gotta do something right here to the outer bit. I don't know if I'm gonna bring like a matte shade around and kind of connect it, but it's not looking the best out there. I'm gonna go ahead and try to add some of the deep purple, and I'm kind of just gonna kind of wrap it right here. Okay, I think that definitely helps. And then I'm gonna go back in with the Nyane Cat shade. So it's the one we use to blend out the purple. Okay, I think that definitely made it a little bit better. I don't know what I was thinking without adding a matte out there. But really quickly, I'm going to get off camera. I'm going to do a wing. I'm going to do some false lashes. And then when I come back, we can do something for the bottom waterline. All right, y'all. So I went ahead and did wings and lashes on both sides. But then on this side, I just thought it looked a little strange in the crease area because it went straight from a blend right to a cut crease, and then the outer V kind of looked weird. So what I did was I took the e.l.f. liquid glitter. This one is in the shade Bling Bling, and I literally took a small brush and I just aligned the cut crease. I'm not super good at doing stuff like that, but I did my best, and I do honestly think that it made the look 100 times better because it just didn't look super together. It just didn't look really cohesive. So I'm happy that I went in with this and kind of fixed it up a little bit. But honestly, now I'm loving both looks. So let's go ahead and do the lower lash line for both sides so we can go on with the lipsticks. Probably the most exciting thing about this video because I honestly love lipsticks and I love lip swatch videos. So for the lower lash line of the blue side, I'm going back in with this one, and then I'm going to blend it out with this one. It's just going in with the lighter matte shade. Isn't like super pigmented. It takes a lot to build up to get it to the shade that it's supposed to be. I take the dark blue shade just very lightly, just a little bit. And I'm also going to keep this a little more close to the lash line. So for the pink and the purple side, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did on top. I'm going to start with the pink on this side and then do the purple on this side. Then I'm going to go in with a Gorgeous Gangster, which is the more deeper pink shade. And then for the purples, I'm taking the Nyane Cat. And then I'm going to take the deeper purple. So for inner corner highlight on both sides, I'm going to take this pink shade right here called Fairytale, just because it is one of the lightest shimmer shades in the palette. Alright guys, so before we go on lipsticks, I just wanted to give you a quick look at both eye looks. Honestly, you guys, I really love both eye looks. I think I prefer the blue more just because it's a little more seamless, a little more blended, really cohesive. Whereas this side is not as much cohesive, but it is still very pretty. And I do think that the glitter really helped this look. I am excited to play around with this palette some more. So if you guys want to see the oranges and the greens next, let me know down below. Let's get into the lip trio now. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on Ulta's website because I'm not sure if these are matte shades or if they're satins. I think they're mattes, but let me pull it up. So it says, swipe on the nude shades of the Morphe times Nyane Fierce Fairytale Nearly Nude Lipstick Trio for all full coverage, super pigmented color you could want. They have the shades Teo, which is a pasty orange, Gia, which is a terracotta, and then Viera, which is a pastel-y pink. So here is what the packaging looks like, just a traditional Morphe lipstick packaging. You would think with this whole collection being so bright and stuff, you would think that these would be maybe a different color other than black. So the first shade we are going to try on is going to be Viera, which is the pink shade. We'll be swatching everything on my hand and on my lips. So here is what the lipstick itself looks like. There is the shade Viera. So here is the shade Viera. We have the shade Teo. Here is the shade Teo. Up we have the shade Gia with a J. Here is the shade Gia. So guys, honestly, these are extremely matte, and I do not think they're one swipe pigment at all. I did have to like build them up a lot, and I honestly don't think that they're nearly nude shades. I think they're definitely more colorful. The only one that is near nude for me is the bottom one, but the two top ones are very bright, very colorful. I think it definitely would have been nice to have a full colorful lipstick set and then a full nude one as well, because I just pictured these being a little bit less like brightening. I feel like even on the pack, they look a little less nude on my hand than they do on the pack. But other than that, once you get the pigment on, they are extremely matte, so I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I don't think they're going to be as good as like the Maybelline Super Stay Ink Matte, because that lasts literally forever. I feel like after a while, these will wear off. Let me go ahead and do a swatch test, or a kiss test. Very little product came off in the back of my hand, so that just tells me that they're probably going to last a while. Back in with the pink one called Viera. And the lip liner I'm going to use is this Essence one, and this is the shade 04 Naive. So it's more of like a dark purple, pinkish plum color. So I'm going to apply the lip liner and then go back in with the lipstick. Just because those lipsticks are a little bit hard to apply without a lip liner, I feel like I was kind of messy with the application. Honestly, guys, I really love this pair. It's not something I would typically go for, and you guys know that as well. I like my nudes, but this is really pretty, and I feel like this lip can go with either eye, and I really like it. So guys, honest and final thoughts on the palette. Again, I love the packaging. Everything about this palette is beautiful. The shades inside are really beautiful, but given the fact that it is $30, I just honestly don't think that it's worth that price point. I do think it's a little bit expensive. The shades are beautiful, and I felt like everything seemed to blend out very well, but I felt like the lighter tone shades just weren't as pigmented and vibrant as they looked in the pans, whereas the darker shades, they showed up very, very well and they blended really well. But other than that, I just don't know if this is something I would constantly reach for. Again, I am looking for some beautiful, colorful palettes. So if you guys have any that you recommend that are full of colors, that have mattes and shimmers, please let me know down below, because I'm looking for a nice, big, colorful palette. I'm just not sure if this would be the one for me. If I could give it a rating, I would probably give it 7 out of 10 stars, just for the fact that the eye looks that I created, they did end up looking beautiful, but I felt like it took a little more work to get there. And again, when I use Morphe palettes, I hold them at a higher standard because I've tried such amazing quality palettes from them. But anytime they do a collab, it's just not the best in my eyes. For the lipstick trio, if you're not absolutely in love with these shades, don't get it, because I honestly don't think it's worth it. When you're representing nudes, I'm picturing more of like nudes, and that's just my personal opinion. I just don't think they were extremely nudes. Other than that, they are extremely matte, where they're gonna last all day. If you don't like something super matte, you might not like these, because these are really, really matte. Even like initial application, they're super matte, whereas like the Maybelline Super Stay, on initial application, they are very wet and then they dry down to a matte. These are really, really matte to start out with. But I honestly love how the lip liner and the lipstick paired it together. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But again, if you don't do YouTube videos and you're not like an Instagrammer or a TikToker and you're not making videos on this stuff, I would recommend waiting until it goes on sale, because anytime Morphe comes out with a collab like this, they go on sale. Even like with the Mickey Mouse collection, the lipsticks and the palette went on sale like literally like a month or two after it came out. So if you're not like in a rush to get this, I would definitely just wait until you can get it at a cheaper price. But other than that, I didn't hate anything. I do really want to play around with this some more, so I think in an upcoming video I'm going to play with the greens and the oranges just to get a whole feel of the palette, because it's hard to judge a palette when you've only used 10 or 12 shades, when there's so many more shades than that in the palette alone. But yeah, if you guys like this video and you guys found this helpful and you guys want to see more videos like this one or more videos with this palette, please be sure to give this video a big old thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. If there's anything at all that you guys want to see next, please let me know. And also leave a comment down below and let me know your guys' favorite colorful palettes that you could recommend to me. Other than that, guys, I want to thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you so much for watching. Your support literally means the world to me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.